Is the current arc Egghead of One Piece the prelude to the final war, or just one of the greatest lore dumps we've seen in One Piece history? Egghead is, like I said, the current latest arc of One Piece. Josue and I have been reading it week by week by week by week. A lot of people are having theories about what's coming up with Egghead, considering all the giant information dumps we've been having. I personally theorize that Egghead is the prelude to something large. If you go back to the Dressrosa arc, in Dressrosa, Luffy has formed a fleet, a crew of people between his own crew, people like Bartholomew, and other pirates they met in Dressrosa. And Oda has hinted at us that this crew itself, this fleet, would be brought back for one giant battle, but for another time in the future. Egghead seems to be pointing towards this, considering all the big players we've seen in this arc. I mean, Josue, would you disagree with me when I say Egghead has had literally the most action across the most characters we've seen in a very long time?
There's no arc like Egghead. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Like, this is the first time that we would kind of stop the middle of a Luffy-centered arc, like the Straw Hat-centered arc, to focus on other people. We're literally seeing characters that we only ever see in post X arc, like post Water 7 or post what's another big one? Like Marineford. Like we're seeing a lot of characters here that we usually never see, which is making Egghead extremely unique in that regard, to the point that I don't think calling it the Egghead arc is really all that accurate.
Even valid anymore.
Yeah.
No, it's not. We haven't been on Egghead in several chapters. We haven't seen Luffy in several chapters.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of behind the scenes look at the Reverie, even stuff like Blackbeard's adventures right now, like fucking up people like Law and Boa Hancock. And you even have stuff like Garp and Kobe over on Blackbeard's island.
Yeah.
You have Cross Guild being formed. There's so many different people being contacted, and last but not least, you have a behind the scenes look at Emu and the Five Elders. They're now playing a huge part in the story. It feels like everyone is getting a chance at speaking their story in One Piece, including the Straw Hats. So in my opinion, this has to be leading to something huge.
Yeah, I mean, to that point, there was a lot of chapters where, yeah, maybe half of it was about the Straw Hats on Egghead, and then the second half of it was about Blackbeard, or was about Shanks, or was about whatever. Oda was just really going everywhere. It really does not feel like the Straw Hats are the main centerpiece here. Yeah, they kind of are, but even when we're looking at whatever happens on Egghead, it's still mainly about Vegapunk, for example, right? Or even sorry, what's her name? Oh my god,
Who?
Bonnie.
Jewelry Bonnie?
Bonnie, yeah. I don't know why I forgot her name. But even on Egghead, it's still primarily about Bonnie and what she's going through with Kuma, for example, right? To this, there's no real progression for the actual Straw Hats here, except for Robin finding out that my guy Jaguar is still alive, and that was a really cute moment.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Great.
Oh my god, there's so much that happens in this arc. I forgot about that little reveal.
I know, it's actually freaking insane.
So nice.
It's not like any Straw Hats are getting any real development here. It's everyone else. So
literally,
no arc is like this, and we're really gearing towards something humongous.
Huge. I think, and this is my hot take, because I don't know how many people will agree with me, but I think the Straw Hats are in for an L.
Oh yeah.
I think they're gonna get clapped. The reason why I think this is because Oda loves foreshadowing. We all know this. He loves doing it a lot. I feel like seeing Law and then Kid get just decimated by two Yonkos, I think it's him kind of hinting at, now next comes Luffy. Luffy's about to get his ass beat. And obviously it won't be as easy as what happened to Law and Kid. They just got one shot by not one shot because Law actually stood a chance. But they, went toe-to-toe with another crew, or just straight up a pirate captain like Shanks. With Luffy, I think the reason why he's losing is because there's a lot coming to the island right now. I mean, Saturn alone scares me, because I do think the Five Elders are way stronger than I think like the manga's even hinting at. I really thought for the longest time maybe they're just, they're literally just top dons and they just, execute the actions of Imu. But like seeing Sabo run for his fucking life when all 5 of them transformed in front of him, I really thought, okay, like they actually might be a problem. Never mind. I completely mistook their power.
Well, not to mention, it probably is also because it's a 5v1 at that point. Well, really 6v1 because Imu also there.
Yeah,
like,
Imu also. Yeah.
I don't care who it is. Luffy wouldn't survive that. Only maybe in Gear 5.
That's exactly why I think Luffy's in for an L, because let's say worst case scenario for Imu side, right? Let's say CP0 can't do anything and Saturn can't do anything. Whatever forces come, let's say somehow Blackbeard gets involved, Garp gets involved. Let's say for some reason all these people get involved and somehow Luffy still comes out on top. Imu still has a kill switch. What do you do about that kill switch? Nothing. So I feel like I just truly don't see how the Straw Hats come out fine from Egghead.
Not to mention that I still don't have. All right, everyone in the Straw Hats, by all means, are way stronger than they were before. But like honestly though, when it comes to endgame stuff, when it comes to let's say who's going to fight against the 5 Elders, I only realistically see Zoro and Luffy. Still, like no one else, I don't think is still up there when it comes to strength.
No. People always argue Sanji's up there, but he's not.
No, because
I think Zoro's in his whole league of his own.
Yeah, because by all means, like Sanji fighting Queen, I can't like it took a lot out of Sanji to be able to defeat Queen, and Queen cannot defeat any of them, any of the 5 Elders. King though, King by all means King is a menace. By all means, he should like lead his own crew, like so like that's why I can see Zoro being like. He can definitely hold his own against maybe
way different.
Yeah. But besides that, no one else could probably hold a candle. And so, by all means, like they're getting their asses whooped by these by Vegapunk Creations. What are they called? The new
Seraphims?
Yes, exactly, the Seraphims.
That's something too. I forgot to mention that too. Yeah.
Yeah, like and I know the Seraphims are a menace. I know they're a problem. I know that they are an actual problem, but only people I can see actually like going by them easily is like Luffy and Zoro. Like to them they're like they're like Cybermen.
Yeah. Actually.
Yeah.
If Luffy's are the only ones that can beat them and the rest of them can't, then like what chance does Straw Hats have against anything else really?
Yeah.
Like truthfully.
Yeah.
Like an Elder pulls up, they can't handle it. If Blackbeard pulls up, they can't handle it. Like if so many different factors come up to stop them. Even like CP0, I think Lucci's definitely waxing everybody on the crew except for Zoro and Luffy.
Honestly,
maybe Sanji.
I mean, there was a point where it was just Lord Almighty, why am I blanking on every single name today,
Lucci,
bro?
Kaku.
Yeah, thank you. There was a point where it was just Lucci, Kaku, Zoro, and Luffy together, right? It was just the 4 of them.
Yeah. I just done 4. Yeah.
I think Oda is very aware that
did that for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
literally.
I think it was a mistake, bro.
Yeah, like
I don't think he just like, oops, my bad. I put them all 4 together. Like, no, come on now.
We all know the real reason. Like the second that I saw Zoro like kind of like holding his own a little bit against Kaido, I'm like, yeah, he's on a different class compared to the rest of the Straw Hats. So an L is quite literally imminent, especially
dude.
When you consider the fact that Blackbeard's on his way to the island right now.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, what happens then? Like, he has Boa Hancock's ability. He has Law's ability, assuming. We didn't see him take it, but I mean, I have to assume. He's taking multiple Delfords at this point.
Did I miss that? Does he have Boa's ability, or you're assuming that?
He definitely has Boa's ability. He beat the shit out of her and waxed her. He took it, too. He took the ability.
Yeah, but doesn't it only really work if they find you attractive?
I don't know. I don't think it works like that, actually. Because I remember he just transformed... I'm pretty sure he used to transform people to stone. I can look it up real quick. Blackbeard.
I'm 90% sure it's like if bro, that's just a problem.
If he can do it being ugly. And if he has that and he pulls the island, again, another fucking factor that just like how the fuck you stop that. And then finally the last piece that I think also wait, let me before the last piece too. Garp also. If Garp somehow gets roped into Egghead, that's a whole other. We saw what he did. We saw what he literally just did, and this is way past his prime. If he wanted to, he's giving Luffy a run for his fucking money, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This dude has Yonko strength, bro. But the last bit, even after Garp, so even after everything I mentioned, we have new characters on the block. We have these like Knights of Destiny, is that what they're called? The
Holy Knights, isn't it?
Thank you. The Holy Knights are now introduced. And I'm wondering, if shit gets out of hand, do they deploy a Holy Knight? Because it seems like these guys are even like on the same level as like an Emu or like an Elder if they're just executing nobles.
Oh my god.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, there's so many ways this can all come together at Egghead, and Luffy just stands no fucking chance. I think they're gonna get waxed completely, and I just don't understand what Oda does next in the story if they do lose. If they lose, I don't know how Oda then, tries to like make up for it and tries to make them get better. But I just don't realistically see how Oda can write them winning this.
It definitely, if One Piece has been mirroring itself, like poetry, it rhymes. Then obviously this means that this is all just Shabari, and they're obviously going to lose.
Have to get stronger.
Yeah, and they have to get stronger. Except a training arc right now just would not be the tone of the.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, they need to just get into whatever's happening now. Like the action's happening right now, and how long ago was the reverie in terms of the like where we are in the story? And I don't mean in real time. I mean literally, like, did the reverie just happen like a couple days ago?
Oh, I think right.
Because Wano, how long were they in Wano for?
No, it was happening. It was happening before that, actually. It was happening before. Let me look up the timeline. I think it happened before Wano, like during like early start of Wano or before Wano. When Cobra asked for a meeting with the 5 elders, it was the day before Luffy. Sorry, it was the day that Luffy got to Wano. The day that Luffy got to Wano, Cobra asked for a meeting with the 5 elders. So it happened during Wano.
And how long were they in Wano?
The Origashima raid was planned 15 days into Wano, but I have no confirmation of when Wano ends.
So essentially, in universe, the reverie happened not that long ago. And obviously the reverie is when all of the major things happen, like the wheels of rock finally turning.
That's where really all these lore dumps happen.
Yeah, exactly. So there's no time, there's no room for Luffy to train, the Straw Hats to train. Like, it's very much like you set up that the end game is now in plan, in action, and they just gotta get the ball rolling. And on top of that, you can't just also tell us that Trafalgar and Kid are both defeated. Like, this is it, bro. This is.
You think there's an argument to be made that Gear 5 is so fucking powerful that he can solo a lot of these people?
Yeah, I think.
Because that would be an insane feat if Luffy and his fleet take on all these people, and Gear 5 is so strong that the combination of an Elder, a Holy Knights, a Yonko Blackbeard, a Marine Legend Garp is CP0 is not enough to take down Gear 5. That'd be an insane statement, dude.
But it's true.
It's definitely doable. It's definitely doable.
It's
I mean,
true.
like, there's a reason why the Elders legit were like, that fruit cannot be fucking found.
It's just unfortunate because this puts us in a situation that's probably even worse than Dragon Ball Z right now. Where, like,
what do you mean?
In Dragon Ball, there was a long time going where it was just pretty much Goku and Vegeta that were the only two relevant dudes in terms of strength. Everybody else was so below them. We're at a point where at least we got five dudes that can really hold their own.
Do something.
Yeah, like Orange Piccolo, Gohan Beast, Broly, Goku UI, and Vegeta UE, like, monsters.
Yeah, truly.
Here, Luffy Gear 5.
Yeah.
Probably the only person that can stand with those 5 in Dragon Ball Z. Only 5.
I'm about to say, like, Zoro, as much as I love him, as much as I think he's strong as fuck, Definitely nowhere near Gear 5.
Yeah, still.
It's not even near it.
He's super strong, but like he's not holding a candle still. So like,
No, exactly.
What are we doing? Like, this is a pretty bad. Let me not say bad because obviously it depends on where we're gonna go with the story here. But like,
yeah, it just looks like a difficult place
situation
to write from.
And I don't need every Straw Hat to be powerful, but like we're putting ourselves in a situation where it seems like when it comes to the end game fights, it's probably gonna be only Luffy and like other characters that we didn't spend this entire time like being with, loving as much.
Yeah,
like it's probably gonna be Luffy and I don't know, maybe the D's, for example, or.
No, you bring up a good point because another theory I have is that another way you can kind of justify them winning is if you throw Shanks on Luffy's side. If somehow Shanks gets involved in this, then I mean a Shanks and Luffy combo can probably wipe out almost anything, dude. I feel like that's just no one's stopping that.
You think Shanks is gonna survive to the end?
To the end of One Piece?
Yeah.
Or like, yeah, I think he'll make it. I think Shanks is not Luffy's end goal for sure. Like that's not. I don't think Shanks is like once Luffy beats Shanks, like he's done it all. That's not really it. Luffy has to find the One Piece. That's it. But I still think, Shanks will prove to be harder to beat than Blackbeard.
Oh, I also agree. But
that's why I think he's gonna make it to the end.
Something just tells me that this is gonna be like a very much like a Jiraiya or even like Obi-Wan Kenobi type situation where like the person who bestowed whatever upon the protagonist will be the one who dies, and that's what's gonna like ultimately.
Really?
I don't know. At least I get that feeling. Like who else from Luffy's past would be the equivalent of what Ace was to Luffy during Marineford? Like,
well, what if he loses Garp? You think he would feel that?
Definitely, but I think in terms of story,
it wouldn't be the same level.
Yeah, I think in terms of story, I think it would hit a little bit harder if it was Shanks, especially because the next time he ever sees Shanks is dead. I think that's when it could it could really just unlock. Imagine Gear 6. That's when.
Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no. Gear 5 is definitely, I think, his final form.
Is that as fine as definitely his final form. The thing is though, with Shanks, it's like, how do you kill Shanks? Like, without Luffy getting involved. That's good. That's a tough one. That's why I don't see it happening at all. I feel like Shanks not gonna be sacrificed.
But do you see Vivi being the final Straw Hat?
Vivi?
Yeah.
After all this, yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it.
There's no way there was way too much build up with her.
Dude, the fact that she's being chased by Emu and now they're like running away, it's like, okay, this is gonna be like a whole thing where Vivi's gonna have her own little adventure, and somehow I think she's gonna end up like meeting up with the Straw Hats.
Yeah.
I 1000% feel like she's gonna be back on that ship, and be like, Otis be like, I told you, it was 10 of them. There's 10 of them this whole time, baby. Ah.
I mean, honestly, I'm all for it. There was way too much.
I'm all for it. It just sucks because she really can't fight. Like she truly can't fight.
Yeah, she would only be on the crew for story reasons, which I don't think I'm that mad about because better than at least some of them, like Usopp at this point or Nami, like they're just fodder. Frankie is just fodder.
Hey, Usopp ain't father. Like Frankie, yeah. Brooke, okay. Usopp, no, don't do that.
He hasn't been relevant.
When his arc comes up, when his arc gets here, when we go to fucking.
Are we going to Elbaf, bro? We've been assuming that for how long?
I think Elbaf is where they get stronger. I don't know. I was about to say Elbaf is where they train, but I would hate that, honestly. I would hate if there's a training arc on Elbaf. Like, what the fuck is this, dude? I hate this.
It's the only thing that probably makes sense at this point.
Does it? I don't want that. I really don't want that. I still think Luffy's going to lose, but I just don't want a training arc.
If the only thing I can imagine isn't Kuma on his way to Egghead right now?
No, he didn't.
Is he going?
He's climbing the. No, he's climbing the red line. No.
To go to Marijoa or to go to Egghead?
To Marijoa, I think.
I don't remember. Dang, we suck at this.
I mean, maybe it doesn't make sense. Why would he go back up to Marijoa? But I could have sworn he was climbing the red line.
Yeah, but I thought no matter what, the only thing I can imagine is if Kuma goes to Egghead. He does the same exact thing to all the Egghead. To all the
Oh my god. If he saves them again, that'd be hilarious.
It's the only thing I can imagine, dude. Or only if this is probably the only time that the revolutionaries should pop up. Like all of the revolutionaries going to Egghead.
I forgot. That's a whole thing we forgot to talk about. The revolutionaries keep getting brought up in Egghead. Like, I mean, in the Egghead chat of the arc, not the actual location.
We've been seeing.
What if they show up?
This is the most we've ever seen Dragon, and the most we've seen Ivankov since Impo Down. So
does it make sense for the revolutionaries to come to Egghead, like the location?
Yes.
Arc? I don't think so. Does it?
Yeah,
for what?
Dude. Well, I mean,
for what?
First off, it's Vegapunk, so there's already enough reason there. Luffy's there, already enough reason for Dragon, because
would Dragon go for Luffy?
He went for Luffy all the way back in the beginning of the story, and he's
no, that's different. Like, it's not. I don't know. Like, that's a little different.
Sabo would definitely be a part of it. Like Sabo hears that Blackbeard is pulling up to Luffy, as well as a fucking Buster call. Yeah. No way, he's pulling up. Yeah. All right, and that's where all the action and an Elder Dragon isn't an Elder with right there also. An Elder is with them on his way to.
Yeah.
There's no
reason. So the Revolution would love to take their fucking shot at killing an Elder.
Dude, and with Vegapunk, like there's all the reasons for the Revolutionaries to pull up. Every single reason. They have every reason to pull up.
So hear me out. Potentially, we could have Luffy, his fleet, the Revolutionaries against Blackbeard, against Garp, the Elder, the Seraphims, CPO, and maybe a Holy Knight. That's insane.
That's already a war in and of itself.
That's insane,
yeah.
Dude. That's, oh my god. That's why I think, like, going back to my first point, I feel like this has to be a prelude to that. I feel like Egghead's building up something huge. Egghead's already huge, don't get me wrong. Like, it's been insane to read this shit.
Yeah.
And we thought it was going to be a lot shorter than what it's been so far. We thought it was going to be like a Punk Hazard.
Yep.
But I think this is building up to like I think this is building up to the peak of One Piece. Like the final apex before it just crescendos off.
I'm just scared that, truthfully, I really hope that no one fights right now.
Really?
And it's only because we're clearly building to a war. The war is coming. And there's a lot of pieces happening right now, but the only thing that could happen after this arc that I can imagine, that can assume, is that Luffy versus Emu, and that has to be another war, I imagine.
Yeah, in itself.
Yeah, and the only thing, it's kind of like what's happening with My Hero Academia right now. And spoilers for My Hero Academia fans, because like it's manga only, but we're having we already had that amazing
huge fight
that the anime just covered. Yeah, but the manga is showing another one. Yeah. Against the same two people, the same two groups again. And listen, I know they're doing some cool things. Like I'm keeping up with the manga. They're doing some cool things, some cool interactions. But at the end of the day, I kind of feel like we're just retreading what just happened. And so, another war. Like that's like the one reason why Marineford worked as well as it does is because there was never a war like that, and we haven't had a war since, which is why I think everyone in the fan base is like, run it back. Let's run it back, baby.
Yeah. Give me another one.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're gonna do another war,
maybe it wouldn't be a war. Maybe it'd be just a showcase of power, and then the war later, like you were saying. Maybe like use Egghead as a way to display like how powerful these motherfuckers. And then now the audience knows, and the Straw Hats know, like, oh, this is like on a different scale.
A giant tease,
and then you can have your final war. Yeah, like a big tease. Like if we get to see what an Elder can do, I think that'd be insane. Because think about it so far. We've seen what Shanks can do, which is just fucked up. We saw what Shanks can do. We see what Garp can do. We see what Emu could do. We've now seen CPO's new performance. We've seen the Seraphims, what they can do. I think honestly what's next is just throw in what an Elder can do, and maybe throw in also what Garling or one of the Holy Knights can do. And I think you now have showcased, okay, this is what all the big players can do. Right. You've all seen how Luffy can fight too. Now let's start building up to that giant war, now that you got a little taste of it.
I actually completely agree with you. I think that's actually not only the right thing to do, but I think what actually will probably happen. The only thing
it just naturally makes sense.
another additional reason why I don't think this is gonna be the final war or like the war, and I know this is gonna sound stupid, it's gonna sound like a joke, but Buggy's not here.
But I feel like Buggy's gonna get thrown in.
Yeah,
like into the war, like Marineford.
Yeah.
Like he's just there.
Doesn't that literally feel like it's only fitting? It kind of wouldn't be a war if Buggy somehow
wasn't there.
No,
yeah, I get you.
On top of that,
you make a solid point. Like he should be there for it.
Yeah, not to mention that Buggy needs to be there because he also has Mihawk and Crocodile, whatever. But I think everyone in the fan base would legitimately be so disappointed if Zoro versus Mihawk doesn't happen.
Yeah.
That's end game between the two of them. Like that's Zoro's end game. So
100%. No, it needs to happen. But especially for me, selfishly the reason why I want Bucky to show up also is because I want to see what can Crocodile do. Because I think Crocodile is one of the very few fuck ups that Oda's ever had. Because looking back at it, let's be honest, Luffy never should have really beat Crocodile. Like, come on, like he really should not have been able to do it. So now it's like I want to see what Crocodile can do now in the future. I want to see what Oda's gonna do with that.
I would say that not only should Luffy never have beaten Crocodile, it's also weird that Crocodile doesn't have Haki.
Yes, that's exactly why I think Luffy should have beat him, and I think it was the writing error from Oda.
No matter what, the war is inevitably coming. I think we've been gearing towards it for a minute. And it's definitely just going to be Luffy, maybe Zoro, and definitely just other characters against everyone else. Ain't no way the Straw Hats are going to be all that relevant. They'll just probably do their own thing. Probably like Nami going off on her own with the ship in order to be able to catalog the rest of the Grand Line. So that way she can accomplish her mission. Or she inevitably does that. I know, like, we didn't even mention this. I think, like, the fleet has to come.
No, I mentioned the fleet multiple times.
Okay. All
I said the fleet has to be in the war,
Yeah, it obviously has to come in.
That's a given.
They have to go to, like, Elbaf at least for a little bit,
I just have Elbaf seems so fucking relevant now, dude.
Yeah.
Elbaf seems so relevant after everything's happening in Egghead.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm surprised that, like, way back in Marineford in Shabadi, when Kuma was doing his thing, sending everybody wherever they needed to go. Yeah. In hindsight, it probably would have made a lot more sense for Usopp to just have gone to Elbaf then.
It would have, but I think also Oda was like, how can I make him go to the New World and then come back and then tell everybody, yo, I've been to the New World. Like, I already did that shit. It's fucking light work, you know? It's kind of weird.
Oh, you're right. Technically, none of them were sent to anywhere that wasn't
Nowhere was sent to the New World, yeah. So I think Oda probably had the same thought as you, but he was like, I can't send them to the New World, though. That'd be weird.
But even with that, in hindsight, isn't that also kind of weird?
No, it's just... It's like video game progression, where it's like, I can't send you that far. Come on, like,
listen,
come on.
You gotta be level 50 for New World, and right now you still gotta grind. So,
whenever Kuba hit somebody, it said level 50, and then like a fucking invisible wall showed up. It's like, fuck, you're so low leveled. Alright, I sent you out here instead.
That's quite literally exactly
what happened. Yeah, literally.
Jesus. One Piece needs a fucking Dragon Ball Z Kakarot game so bad, man. One Piece Luffy.
Dude, if they got the same love as that game, I'd fucking play the shit out of that.
Jesus. I'm surprised it hasn't happened.
Anyway, Egghead Arc still very much in full effect. When Oda comes back from this hopefully successful operation, I think we're going to get even more ridiculous fucking lore dumps. And I'm really excited to see what happens to the future of the series, especially with a potential war brewing.
Yep.
But those are our thoughts on the series. Thank you guys for coming by. Great episode. This has been the Panic Brothers. My name is Simon and Josue. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.